Here they are. Joe is actually, I think, one of the exceptions because he was telling us yesterday that he really hoped he would eventually get a future match, and that's not for everyone. I think even for the most experienced players, sometimes they really feel the nerves. So.
Yeah, I always enjoyed having the feature matches. I think a lot of people do, but sometimes people want to keep their deck under wraps as to what they're playing. But yeah, Joo Ho likes to show off what he's doing.
And here, I mean, we already see some of the Mitsurugi cards, so at least Mel will know what he is up against. Ooh! Wow! We've talked about that with John. Drawn a lock, 41% sided it, but Mel is one of the few that mained it, and yeah, it's gonna hurt.
And talent here, yeah, I mean, we discussed this yesterday as well. I mean, most of our players will have relied either on Droll or Nibiru, but here the talent is huge.
It's interesting because, yeah, I mean...
Take off the tract, I guess? It depends on...
both are really, really good, but yeah, he eventually goes... seems like he's having a second thought.
It's excellent to have a little peek here anyway, because you know now what you have to play around. So,
yeah.
I mean, regardless, you know your opponent's going to have one kind of push, be it with the tract or with... Oh, wow. The Ball Drake.
Okay.
Are we expecting... No, Joo Ho doesn't play Fiendsmith cards, right? So, interesting choice to send back the Ball Drake there.
He had a change of art here. Maybe he has an Ash Blossom on the tract.
Yeah, definitely an interesting pick, but it's just a pass, huh? Wow.
Yeah, it seems like a really interesting choice to send back the Ball Drake when it doesn't seem like it does very much against the deck. I think that's one of the reasons why people are picking up the Mitsurugi deck, is because it doesn't really get hit by Bestials in the same way that the Fiendsmith decks do.
Yeah, no, it was definitely quite an interesting play. I mean, we have mentioned how Joe is experienced, so I do think there is a plan for it. And yeah, here we see why Drawn Lock was able to stop at least one of the other plays that he had access to. So I guess he prioritized getting rid of the Bestial that could have at least allowed Mel to set up another monster. But
yeah, maybe that means he has a Bestial of his own to, didn't want threatening Bestial competition.
That could be a good one. And yeah, it's gonna be, I think, here from Joo Ho. Yeah, I don't see. Yeah, exactly. He's gonna allow it. And
what did you think of the Prosperity there? I mean, I know obviously it's a very powerful card, but it's quite a nice thing for the Mitsurugi deck. A lot of decks now, they have the Fiendsmith, they have the Ryziel or whatever, and you have quite a lot of competition for slots in the extra deck. But the Mitsurugi deck, because it relies on main deck ritual monsters for its kind of power, can afford this luxury almost of banishing 6 from the extra. Can you imagine doing that in Fiendsmith, Ryziel, banishing 6, where players are really struggling to get that 15-card extra deck?
Yeah, no, it's...
I'm also quite surprised, and honestly this will be something to ask Joo Ho, because he's not playing Futso. He's only playing the Ameno as the ritual, so he's only playing one. Yeah, he's not playing the other one.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I still think Prosperity is probably one of the best spells of all time, and I think here, bold statement, it is the best pot cards ever made, even better than Pot of Greed. And I mean, if you can play it, especially after siding, I think it gets so much better when you're able to just, dig for the side deck cards.
Here we go.
Okay.
The sequence, I mean, it makes sense, like, I guess, to try and push with your Yubel cards if you can, but I don't know if this is going to work.
Not quite. I mean, this was kind of a giveaway, I think, because Joo Ho was thinking a lot on the Lacrima effect. And yeah, that's pretty much a giveaway of having, impermanence, but there is not that much that you can do anyways, so,
Sequence to me feels like the card that just always gets negated.
Yeah.
We had our, yeah.
And there is the rare Fuvolos to attack.
I enjoyed seeing the card breakdown. I want to see Sequence up there as like the card that most often gets negated.
Just like Typhon is usually the card that loses you the most games, because when you summon it, usually, you know, you're desperate enough. But although it's really a good card. Oh, that's some, you know, revenge. Some unnecessary hate against this impermanence, but no, there is, I mean, potentially some Dominus additional effect if Joe is playing any.
Yeah, it's quite a heads-up play, to be honest, because my instinct is always to banish the monster in your opponent's grave, because it's normally the most useful, but it makes more sense now to banish trap cards in case of Dominus Impulse or Purge.
Let's see. Without Droll, Joe is obviously in a much better spot, and we start things off with Bonfire.
Yeah, having access to, well, the knowledge of the hand of Mel is pretty good. Do you think it's a bluff, or do you think Mel's drawn an infinite impermanence?
Well, maybe the case.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going more for the bluff, but in general, I think even if it's an impermanence, it's never going to be enough here. Like, you almost hope that it's an impermanence, I think, if you're Joe. Like,
could also be the opening of the Spirit Gates that she said. Yeah.
Keeping the card very close to the chest there anyway, so we can't see it here. At what point do you think you fire off this SP Little Knight? I guess maybe wait for the first XYZ summon, or not?
Never mind.
I guess if you really cared about the SP from Joo Ho, you could just send an aggregator from your extra deck. So he's kind of signaling that he really doesn't mind when it's activated at all.
That seems like it was a bit premature, but yeah, it's gonna allow to push forward. I mean, obviously we'll have a bit more of a answer at the end of the day if we go based off results, but what do you guys think about these different Ryziel versions? Which you prefer?
I think I tend to gravitate towards having the cleaner main deck, if you like, and not having to run as many engine requirements in the main deck. Okay. So probably the Ryziel Fiendsmith deck would probably be my deck of choice, but I definitely understand the hedging for a bit of extra power, maybe being a bit stronger into Fuvalos is why people have chosen to pick up the Mitsurugi variant. So I can see it, but I think if I was going to pick before the event, I probably would have picked the Fiendsmith Ryziel.
Yeah, I like on the other hand the Mitsurugi ones. Like, I really feel like these new ritual cards are super powerful. As you say, Tom, I mean, you have to be careful with especially Fuvalos being present basically in the meta game. And I also feel like it's a matter of how many players are playing Draw and Lock, which we saw before. So it's almost half of our players, and that may hurt, but I think the deck is very consistent, and yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those decks that if piloted by very good players at Joo Ho, I think we will see some in the top cut for sure.
I mean, we hovered over the card, but it was revealed to be a spell, so that's confirmed not to be an impermanence anymore.
Yeah, maybe she just said the Spirit Gates.
Could be. It also kind of looked like a droplet. I don't know if there is a droplet in the main deck.
Check.
Or
no.
Book of some sort?
Okay.
No. I thought about Cold by the Grave, but she's not playing it.
No, almost like...
okay.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay, it was kind of an impermanence. Veiler is there, but...
It's not going to do anything, yeah.
No, also because now Joe knows that the set is the opening, and yeah, he's going to go off.
Yeah, Mel must have felt pretty good with that Drawn Lockbird completely shutting Joe off, but the combo of talents and then his own Drawn Lockbird is very, very powerful on the swing back. I guess it goes to show just the power of this Ryziel deck, regardless of what you're playing it with, because you just only need the one card and you can do all of this, and then you can back it up with a cross to negate interruptions. Very, very powerful.
Indeed.
Do you think Joo Ho will have preparation for the U-Belt deck?
Probably nothing too specific,
yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's very experienced, so maybe the experience could play a big role in this matchup. but for sure, like this game one is definitely going on his side at the moment.
And yeah, we're gonna go for a Dweller. Which you can make with Fuvalos to get 500 boost.
No, Fuvalos
No,
is
Fuvalos,
wind.
no,
Yeah,
Purulia. That's right.
I'm making the Dweller now in order to play around any Fiendsmith interruptions coming out of the grave. So he's thinking about next turn already. But yeah, it's something you have to do when your opponent has a Lacrima. It plays very well into Fiendsmith and Paradise, because if your opponent activates Fiendsmith and Paradise, you can chain the Dweller.
Yeah.
And normally, Dweller doesn't negate anything, but it prevents effects from being activated in the graveyard. But if you use Dweller as chaining 2 to Fiendsmith and Paradise, Dweller will already resolved by the time the big Fiendsmith has hit the grave and won't be able to use its effect.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I was struggling. I was waiting for the name to appear in my brain. Is that not?
Ah, no F.
No send?
Yeah, might have missed it. Yeah. I don't see a reason.
It kind of looked like she was like, no, I don't want to use the effect.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be a very tough spot for Mel, regardless.
Yeah. At least, yeah, Joe is out of cards, it seems. But I mean, this is still so much. Because he's gonna get now a draw.
He's going to have the Dweller, and the Detonator checks opening the Spirit Gates extremely well.
Yep. Now we're just gonna push some damage, and then this might be the last draw for game 1 potentially.
What do you reckon? Dark Ruler no more. Bang.
Yeah, Dark Hole.
Dark Hole. Yeah, Dark Ruler no
Dark
more.
Hole doesn't
also,
really work.
Yeah.
Dark Hole is not really that great, but
As a standby phase activation, maybe. Is it?
yeah.
Surely you go straight in and chain the... oh no, SP doesn't work, does it, right? Because both things need to be on the field for SP?
Yep.
So SP is also going to be checked by the Detonator.
Absolutely. Yeah, it seems... do we have the Typhon in the extra deck at all?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe that's an option.
Very hard. Between the Cross and the Detonator, it feels so hard to get anything going.
I know.
So even the Typhon is going to lose out to the Cross. But as you say, that's a good option.
When in doubt.
Does Typhon prevent you from normal something? Or just special something?
No, it's... Wait, now you're making me doubt. Because I also thought...
It's very strange to have a Typhon and then and then normal summon afterwards, isn't it? So, but you so often just normal summon and make Typhon, but I don't think it's too important either way whether you get to normal summon afterwards.
Yeah, you can't normal or special.
Yep.
Here comes the Cross.
Yeah, unfortunately, if it wasn't for the Cross, this could have been much, much better, but that makes so much of a difference. We're gonna get additional cards, and yeah. Unfortunately, it seems like this theory of Typhon might be the card with the highest losing percentage.
It's amazing to see, like, Typhon feels like it's dropped off a little bit. I guess it's probably because players have a lot of competition in their extra deck between Ryziel cards and their other engines. But it's so powerful against Detonator. It just so cleanly answers it. You can't be activated, so you just go ahead and bounce it and then deal with whatever else is on the field. But if your opponent has the Cross, then you're going to struggle.
Oh, now we Ash Blossom, yeah. the Lacrima effect on the Requiem to then tribute itself and special summon from deck. So we are officially out of resources, kinda. And the Dweller is still there, which is nice.
It's kind of interesting though. Raziel maybe not quite having the same follow-up as other decks because he's got this. He's drawn 2 cards extra even off this cross, but no way of winning the game on this turn, at least it looks like. So now going to have another chance.
Yeah, I mean, it's mostly due to Duo Drive. If it resolves, obviously it gives you a lot of follow-up. But in this case, it was negated by Veiler. So we're setting 2 cards. Wow.
But those could well be bluffs if they're Mitsurugi cards. I don't think... Mel must know, actually, that it's Mitsurugi, right? Because she saw the Prosperity on the first turn. But otherwise, this is just looking like a pure Raziel deck. So here comes Dark Beckoning Beast.
Would have liked to see that earlier on. And yeah, that's a good play by Joo, using the detonator on the opening and then chaining the impermanence on the Beckoning Beast.
Yeah, it's got to be muscle memory for Raziel players at this point. It's first you activate detonator.
We are chaining Bald Drake. Yeah, that's gonna resolve. Doesn't seem like he does all that much, to be fair.
Beckoning Beast is level 3, I want to say. So no,
level 2.
Oh, level 2 even.
Yeah,
so
it was played in Sprite, that's why.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay. Yeah. My head just went instantly to Chaos Angel when you see a Bestial next to another monster, but not going to be the case here. This might be enough to buy Mel another turn.
Yeah, maybe she can survive this turn, and I mean, because like Joo Ho is left with no cards in hand, right?
That's a pass.
Yeah.
Are there enough? There are enough Raziels for another draw.
Yeah. Okay, we are gonna use the Ash, and Joo is thinking. We have a cold buy? Or no, he's thinking about detonator maybe. I don't know.
Oh, or cross.
Yeah. But is it really worth it? A bit risky, no?
Like to live dangerously.
Yeah.
There are so many cards, surely, that just win you the game immediately if you draw them.
Yeah, it's cross. Yeah. So he's gonna go for it. Let's see if he gets punished, though. So many good draws, and we are gonna finally access this Mitsurugi. Wow, look at that. Yeah. And Mel has seen enough. Good effort, but in the end, it was really the battle of the Drawn and Lock birds here in game 1. Both players deciding to main deck the card, and yeah, it's working out. So, well, I think obviously Joo is gonna be quite happy with how things turned out, considering he passed on an empty field. So, I mean, now at the same time, he's going to be a little bit afraid in this game too. We have mentioned how tough it is to stop the Jubel deck. And, I mean, taking a look at these side decks, I do like that it's all free offs, but it's going to be tough to find something specific for Jubel. What do you guys think Joo is going to bring in?
I'm wondering, does he have the Meows? Yeah, he does. So I feel like Meows seems intuitive to me, like quite a powerful card. He also has Ultimate Slayer. I'm not sure how effective that is against the U-Bell deck. I'm not sure kind of what fields they're ending on at the moment, but if there are XYZ monsters on the field at the end, which seems very possible, they often like to make a Wave King Caesar or the rank 10 negate. So maybe that's quite a useful thing to bring in.
Yeah, it could be an option. And for Mel instead, I think she may side out the Fuvalos and bring in the Bells, because like she's also like playing all 3 offs.
Yeah,
and
quite similar side decks.
Yeah.
Nibiru is also an option. Obviously, when you go first, you really hope to set up your own large field, so you don't really want to then Nibiru it, because again, it's one of those decks where the follow-up is not too guaranteed. You really try and win right there. So let's see. I guess yeah, it's gonna be a close one. Regardless, you know, it was a very good day one record for both. And with the 3 rounds remaining, I think we are looking at a score of probably 9 wins, a draw, and 2 losses to try and sneak it in. I don't think anything, you know, below that can make it. I'm not even sure though if it's guaranteed for everyone with that score. Probably some of them might be out. So you know, you really want to try and win out from here on. So let's see. And yeah, this seems like the side decks are pretty much completed. So let's jump back into action.
Yeah, I'm excited to see a U-Battle combo. I've not seen one of those for a while. Kind of missed it.
And now she will break.
She'll get Mulchamid 2 times over.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, as you mentioned before about the kind of follow-up, it is a bit worrying, the follow-up, when you've lost 2 copies of Phantom of U-Bell potentially from your extra deck. So you do really have to go all in and maybe win on the first turn.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's definitely dangerous. Also, because is she maining cross out at all, or because that was also one, I don't think so.
Nope.
Yeah, and so the strategy for many of the Yubel players in the past has been to, you know, maximize on cross out and Call by the Grave, to just try and play around the Fuvalos. But because what really is the plan if you get Fuvalos?
I think the plan is to have your own defensive options, or just, yeah, draw Ash Blossom, as you say, or cross out.
And she's not playing Cold by the Grave either.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah.
Not even cool. Wow.
Obviously very confident in the ability of the deck going first.
I guess you can draw Lock during your turn, possibly. But, I mean, that's not quite ideal. But maybe that's an option as well. And, yeah. Let's take a look at these opening ends. I don't think I see any Mulcharmis from Joe. Or at least, yeah, we're not seeing any now. Let's see the check for the Droll, though.
Yeah, I don't think Droll normally does too much into U-Battle.
I agree.
Even in this situation, normally when you're terraforming, that's the best case scenario for a Droll Lockbird. But the opening of the... No, not the opening of the Spirit Gates.
Nightmare
the
Throne?
Nightmare Throne, that's the one. Can just destroy a card from your deck.
Yeah, Nightmare Throne is by far the best opener that you can have. And look at this. Wow.
Yeah, this looks like a full combo if I ever saw full combo for the U-Battle deck.
Well, we'll soon find out, because this is a very good start from Mel with the Throne plus the Spirit Gates. And maybe the Cold by the Grave is not needed, or the Cross-Out Designators.
Yeah, we're going straight into the Finsmith engine as well.
And yeah, this is the last time that you can freely activate a Fuvalos. So I guess Mel knows no Fuvalos coming down now. And a very shiny looking Phantom of U-Bell as well.
Yeah, this is absolutely premium. I think there might just be an impermanence from Joe, and then it makes you wonder whether you could even keep it for your own turn. We'll see what he wants to do. Maybe just try and hit the sequence. That could work out decently.
I think we're going to get the extra little draw off the print. Yes, we are.
Oof. Yeah, this is a pretty good interaction with obviously the opening. Probably gonna cut the deck, and then we are.
Yeah, this is very clean. Drawing cards. I mean, after all said and done, well, the Nightmare Pain is going to be set, but still 4 cards in the hand for Mel at this point.
What an opener.
Should be set, right? Oh.
Can you add it to your hand, or do you have to set it?
I thought so. I mean, doesn't really matter. There it is, Nightmare Pain. Yeah, I mean, we've mentioned it. I mean, no, regardless of the hits that the deck might have suffered, it still has totally enough tools to just, you know, end on probably the best field of the format. And it also has a lot of different options because you can still. Now it's the. I think we're gonna see the impermanence. Let's see.
You think in your heart has it been superseded by the Mermail deck, or you think you'd rather?
Yes, let's say yes. Yeah, my heart say yes. I mean, to be fair, yesterday we saw double Toad plus the statue. So
Yeah, we saw that get broken, Marcello.
by a water deck, that's easy when you're playing a water deck. Good luck if you're not.
Ah, the
Yeah.
statue got negated by droplets.
True.
The secret is just to draw Lightning Storm and Forbidden Droplets. Which of the Unchained trap cards has Mal opted for?
I say escape. Let's see.
It's Abominable Chamber.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Nope. 50-50, lost.
Next time. Always seemed to be quite a point of contention. I feel like, you know, there were two different
Yeah.
sides who would say they were obviously correct.
Yeah, and each claiming it was absolutely the best. Yeah. I mean, yeah, this is pretty much what we have seen plenty of times in the past. You have quite a few different options on what to end on. You know, there is the obviously King Caesar, but yeah, this indicates that we might go into a rank 10 instead.
I always forget the levels. I know a bunch of them are. Some are 9, some are 10, some are 11, right?
Barudras, yeah.
To
Might
make
go
your
for that.
Varudras. Wondering how you get your other level 10 onto the field. Hasn't Graver been used yet?
No.
No.
Oh my goodness, after all this, he's still activating. This is full combo for the Fiendsmith deck, just Engraver.
I mean, you were telling this before, Tom. You have never seen full combo, and here we are.
Yeah, wish granted.
Here we go. Still a fistful of cards.
Yeah, it's not quite usual, to be fair, just to see the
Yeah.
deck at full power, especially with all the hand traps that are being played. But
Oh, we have a new toy as well for the deck.
Yeah, this is such a strong card, allowing you to get back, you know, light or dark. And in this case, it's gonna be the Engraver. Are we going just King Caesar, or what's the play? Yep. It is. Oh, is that really it?
Yeah, Caesar not as
Okay.
much of a threat against Ryziel decks compared to a bunch of other, because they have X, which can send Aggregator and very easily answer it.
Yeah, that's a pass. So 5 cards for Joo, and he starts with Bonfire.
Yeah, I'm definitely not a U-Bell expert, but I normally see them end on Varudras as well.
yeah,
Yeah, it definitely with Throne plus opening. Yeah, that's a possibility, but
I'm wondering if you actually like chain block the Aggregator rather than the.
Varudras
The
that
other way around.
Mel is not playing.
okay, we're going right away into the chamber.
So I guess. What do you think the order was? Yeah, no, it must have been Aggregator 2
Yeah, on Phantom.
on Phantom.
What do you want to go for? The Exiton?
Is he playing? He must be playing Exton, I guess, because there's so
Think so.
much space. But there's less of a reason to play it when you don't have the Light Fiends.
I think we can, yeah, we're gonna interact, right? Yep, makes sense.
Banish.
Yeah,
the
it's
other
banished.
Ryziel.
Yep. Pretty good. So here comes finally again part of this Mitsurugi engine, but it seems like that is a little more frail against the King Caesar, right? So, oh, and we have an impermanence of our own. Just the icing on top.
This may be too much, honestly, for Joo Ho, because
yeah,
you called it.
Unfortunately, yeah, it was a bit too much, and also I gotta think the time is a little bit of a consideration because there are about 15 minutes left. If you spend too much trying to break it, you know, it's not really the ideal situation. Yeah, I mean, it's only fitting. We've mentioned it. Jubel going first is a threat, and we just got another confirmation and a great display from Mel. But now I finally want to see some Mitsurugi combo because we are not seeing it. We're not seeing the Raigeki. I want to see this setup. And yeah, I mean, Joo is going to try his best to do so. Most likely going to take out some of these small charmies. It doesn't seem like he has all that much for going first. Usually, probably Metal Tronos is a card that you can put in. But I mean, outside of that, it seems like, honestly, it just takes out the Fuwalas for those. I mean...
Yeah, do you think he has that many targets? I mean, he must have targets to target the Fiendsmith portion of decks. You've got the Exciton Knight being a light Fiend that we just mentioned before, so that at least. But yeah, there are some weird-looking cards in his extra deck, which I guess are just Metal Tronus targets.
Yeah, I think so.
Most likely, because I mean, in terms of you know, just side deck patterns, that seems to be the way to go. Otherwise, you will be kind of forced to keep those Fuwalas going first, which is, you know, never ideal.
Yeah, it's absolutely bizarre to see, to me at least, because everyone's just been constantly talking about how they struggled to get their extra deck down to 15, and then you see Joo Ho running Haggard Lizardos to use with Metal Tronus, which is amazing.
Absolutely, put some respect on the Lizardos. Yeah, exactly. But without further ado, I think again only one of these two amazing duelists can advance with an X1-1 record. Let's find out who it is going to be. Let's jump back into game 3. "30 minutes might look like enough, but we could also totally get close to that finish. And I'll tell you what, they really don't want to add another draw." So let's see.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, 13 minutes, it sounds like a lot, but, you know, the previous 2 games between them have taken over half an hour, so...
Ooh, and
it's a bluff.
Shift into this praying pose, and yeah, it immediately picks them up. Okay, definitely kind of a bluff. But, ooh, we have the Prosperity again. Wow.
This is something I also discussed yesterday about using the impermanence on the very first Resilient monster, which is sometimes maybe you have already more interruptions because otherwise you may usually wait as well.
Yeah.
I think unless Mel is playing mind games with us, I'm going to go with that's the only interruption, and I was completely wrong. It's like, I feel like the prayer was like, please don't, you know, like, I just have one interruption, I'm just going to use it and see.
That's
but
it.
I was completely wrong.
That's
wow,
it.
That's it. Joo stopped in his track. Are we going to see another comeback on stream? That's a great way to start, but there is an infinite impermanence. Any Fiendsmith card would be absolutely insane, but there is none, and there is a pass back. Wow.
And another wish for you, Tom. Maybe we're going to see the first Mitsurugi card being activated and resolved. So...
I know, it resolved at the end of the first game and just immediately ended the game.
No,
goes Bell.
So
Never mind. The battle of the hand traps here in game 3. Joo really needs to pick up something, and there comes a pretty good top deck in that Mitsurugi no Mikoto. Saji.
Your favorite card?
Yeah. Is it?
Saji. You always talk about Saji being your favorite card.
Okay. You ask for it. This is my official pitch for the next.
I don't see the difference between that and the other card on the screen. Actually.
That is
the
the alternate version of Saji you see on. You can see Joe a bit confused looking around, but that's exactly why.
This feels like we're at the point where it's extremely difficult to interrupt now for Mel, because even if you negate the effect of Saji, then Duo Drive will be followed shortly after, so you're going to need multiple interruptions from here. Having said that, Mel hasn't been able to push with her engine, so maybe that's what she's got.
I mean, unfortunate, but especially because when you play a Finsmith deck, I mean, all you really need is a way to put two masters on the field, and then you can at least try and access that engine, but that wasn't the case, and now I think we just got the ritual.
Time for Duo Drive.
And we have an impermanence though. So impermanence is gonna stop the Duo Drive, and then we are gonna attack over the Beckoning Beast, possibly giving another chance to Mel. Can she find something to combo here?
The second
attempt,
it's
another one, but there
Ash.
is an Ash from Joo Ho.
But here we go, as you said, just
but there's
two
a Druid
monsters.
Maybe enough.
Yes,
She's starting to pick up the pace.
It's a great one, yeah.
The last card is the ritual spell, right?
Yeah, it is.
so
Yeah,
good.
yeah. She top decked the Druid Worm, and
Wow.
yeah, this may be the game changer. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just one Fiendsmith is normally enough. You just go, you resolve the sequence. I mean, other decks can't necessarily bridge into their own engine with the Fiendsmith engine, but U-Belt totally can. But you do need a card in your hand, having said all of that, because you need to discard for the Muckracker, you know, if you want to make full use of it. But
Yeah, you can see
Mel
the
has any
base.
cards.
No, I think we are gonna play it safe. I mean, what can Joo really top deck here if we end on the Desiree? So we can also play it that way.
No, she's just...
Oh. Ah, no, yeah, we can. That's the big difference for the deck. That's what we can go for.
But what do you... Don't you need to discard a card for Muckracker for this to work?
But we didn't use the Engraver?
No, you definitely used Engraver.
So we can
right?
go, yeah.
She has the Grave Squirmer. She's kind of thinking now. Because I feel like this combo, you just kind of autopilot it, but you need a card in your hand to do what? I mean, the usual plan is to send the Samsara Lotus, right?
Yeah.
But you can't do that here.
Okay, Squirmer is sent instead.
She's going to have to be a little more creative. I feel like you can still do a fair amount.
Absolutely.
After all this. You have that
This works, right?
0 attack
Kinda.
monster. I mean, at the very least, you can end on a Caesar. I think it would have been nice just to end on Desiree, but maybe we're about to be seeing what more you can do, because when you play Desiree, that's just kind of it. There's nothing that can be drawn. Doesn't matter if it's X.
I mean, getting to the chamber is also pretty good, I guess, if we still have that, because obviously in this game we're going second, so it's not too obvious that the card is still in there.
You can add back Engraver here, which will get you another monster. Fortunately, you'll be able to get Shavara off the field. Yeah, I agree with you, though. A lot of players do tend to side out the
I don't
trap.
think... I mean, it wasn't in the top, like, 30 cards. Might be at the very top of the deck, because I didn't see any trap cards. But yeah, this is a really good display from Mel.
Yeah, there's quite a lot going on here. You can make a Caesar.
We're gonna push damage, and with 7.5 minutes remaining, we at least get the lead in that regard. We were down 2,500, and yeah, as you were saying, we must have took out Chamber going second, and this still is pretty strong. I mean, with just one card, it shuts down most of the Mitsurugi. Oh, there is one more card. Yeah.
I'm wondering though, does this field actually get cracked by one X'd?
Oh!
This is actually gonna, because you just keep summoning Ryziels, right? That it deals so cleanly with the Caesar.
And also, this is the best one to draw, I think.
Yeah,
The
by
X,
far.
By far.
So two monsters get. I don't know what's going to happen here. Yo's got one card which I think is not really going to help that much in his hand.
No, we know everything, you know. And yeah, you're right. You called it Tom. What a top deck from Joe. But to be fair, he had plenty. So.
Oh, you got 6 of them, right? Oh no, you got more. You can draw a sword. I wonder if you activate the ritual spell here to force out the Unchained Soul of Rage. I guess you don't need to.
Yep. I mean, this still kinda works, because...
Yeah, because Sword and X have been used. Okay, I think we were getting too excited. Oh, you still have
couldn't,
Node. You Node, you can discard a card. Is there any Fiendsmith capabilities?
No, he's not
in Mel's
playing.
grave to interrupt, because Duo Drive is surely going to be the next card to hit the field, and that resolving can normally be quite devastating.
Wasn't this the game, though, where we already used it?
But surely Joo Ho runs 2.
I think he's running 2.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But
he's used
yeah,
Prosperity,
exactly.
so-
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
about to
that's the
mention.
only thing, yeah.
He might have banished one, to be fair, because it's one of the target to be banished for the Prosperity. So
Yeah, we used one. We might have banished the second one, and what a decision that could have been. We mentioned that Prosperity is really good, but yeah, I think that's what he might be thinking about now.
Yeah,
Let's
because
see.
Duo Drive can just attack over the Caesar as well.
Is it...
Oh, Duo number 2.
No. Okay. Sigh of relief.
But like you can search the cross, but what do you do afterwards? There's not too much. You've used all the Ryziel's special summons pretty much, but you still get more cards. Wow, this was such a great top deck for Joo Ho.
Yeah,
was by far the best
absolutely
one.
insane. Wow. It's really a back and forth one. What a match. What a game this was.
He's gonna have another X to next turn as well. X'd into Eclipse Twins. It feels like Mel has to take the game if possible on the next turn. Otherwise, yeah, Joe's going to have a lot of follow-up.
Yeah, I mean, we get so many draws. We even set one, and there are very few good cards that we can get. Time for the Typhon again, maybe. But it doesn't really do much at this point.
Yeah, but it's so close, isn't it? It does. You know, when Joe's only on 2,200.
Yeah, I do agree with
Typhon's
that.
very threatening, and you have the Engraver here, which has to be respected. So, like, if you chain... Oh, you can't. There's no... Oh.
Wow.
That was a fantastic draw.
What a draw. What a draw on both sides. And this is the third, I think, back on in Beast of the game. Wow.
Is there the dark... was it the Chaos Summoning Beast?
Yeah. I mean, he used... I think we saw it in game 1. Barakumo by. Okay. Oof. It's going to be a close...
No, that's just... You just chain SP, make Typhon, bounce, attack for game, right? There's...
Yeah, but we need to be extremely lucid here.
I think you may be right, Tom.
Yeah, take a moment. Yeah, because we already used cross. We know the card in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but wait, but did we just go into duo? Maybe we can't even Typhon. I think only duo was summoned, right?
I think you're right, actually.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
We
because
can't go Typhon, yeah. Yeah, there was nothing else, I think, from Joe. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, Mel one step ahead of me.
Yeah.
Just make Moon and keep it up.
Well, the cold buy was another great pick from Joo
Yeah,
Ho
I mean, what a
with
what
the
a duo.
cross.
What a duo this is. And at the same time, though, there is a worrying fact. 2 minutes remain.
I think 2 minutes will be enough. Joo Ho's got the follow-up that he needs. Here comes Lacrima.
Is it really enough?
Yeah, what
we
other
have already-
actions can Mel
Oh,
take?
wait. But I think we have already used the...
She used Engraver already. Oh no, there's the what's the name of I forget the name. The fusion.
Ah, yeah,
Yeah,
It
yeah.
can come back. Absolutely.
And
Aerial Eater. Yeah, Aerial
Yeah.
Eater comes back.
We didn't consider this. Yeah, it's true.
Wow.
Wow.
and then into sequence.
Oh,
Huh?
Is that
What
a
is
moon?
that?
That can't be moon.
no.
Oh, Yama. You can just make Yama. Okay.
Yama. Yeah.
I have no idea what's about to happen. We do we have the spirit gates? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. I think this might be it, because like there is only a minute left. I can't imagine that Joe has enough time to then just push back these 3,000 attack
Oh, but she
points.
runs the rank the link
Yeah.
link 3.
Oh, she runs
This
this.
could just
the,
be it.
And you make
Anguish.
into Boa and then yeah, does Boa can just pop a card, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you have to discard for Boa, so
Yeah, we're just gonna use the effect and go into... Oof, 40 seconds remain. Really clutch decision here from Mel. Dark? What is it?
Muckracker.
Muckracker, yeah. But no cards in hand. And now we are gonna
she's-
crush and then use Yama, right?
Wow, this is very clutch.
Absolutely. What a play, what a turn.
Here comes Yama.
Yeah, Yama number 2 is used. 2300 is the difference at the moment.
Is it sequence? Oh, Unchained Soul of Rage?
Yeah. And we push some damage. And I think time is pretty much over, so this could just be it. There is a pass, a draw from Joe. But I think time has been called. And unfortunately, I don't think there is enough for Joe to just push back into this game. What a match this has been. And yeah, I think... as you can see, not much can be done at this point, I think. He might have entered main phase, but definitely not going to have a battle phase. And there it is. Mel takes the match. Jubel is the winner. What a match. Wow. I mean, what a start to this day, too. I mean, we mentioned it from time to time when, you know, you're facing off against 2,500 players and then... even just making it to the issue is no joke. Only the best players can advance, and yeah, this was just you know, a demonstration of that. World Championship competitor Joo Ho takes game 1, but then Mel, I mean, what a display. She was able to make that comeback happen.
Yeah, it just goes to show the power of the Jubel deck there. It just seemed like she had no resources and then monsters just kept appearing out of nowhere. I mean, that definitely gets the award for the most intense duel of the weekend so far, but we're only on this first round of day 2.
No, I mean, it was unbelievable, especially because, like, in game 2, we saw basically the deck at full power because there was only one interruption from Joo Ho's side that was in permanence. And honestly, in game 3, I'm not sure what happened. It was like, it was like such a back and forth game in which both of our duelists basically top deck one clutch card after the other. And in the end, it's Mel who advances with an impressive 8-1-1 record.
Yeah.
So ideally, another win should guarantee her the top cut. So and then for Joo Ho, still, I mean, it's still in. So you know,
gotta win out most likely these last 2 rounds, but definitely there is still a chance. But yeah, I think this match really added all. We saw this game 1 in which you know, there was this drawn and lock war with passing back to each other. But then game 2 had your dream, Tom. You know, we saw a full display of a really good you know, Jubel combo. But game 3. Is among my favorite type of Yu-Gi-Oh game where you just throw, you know, cards at your opponents and then top deck mode. And really, it seems as if the duel was locked. But then Joe, with the clutch top deck of X Raziel, almost seems like could have gotten the game. And yeah, wow, what a match.
Yeah, it's one of those things, like it's such a powerful interaction because High King Caesar is such a powerful card, but then the extra Ryziel just answers it for free while it's doing everything else. Like, I feel like that's one of maybe the reasons why we're seeing less of it, but everyone is still making this High King Caesar to try and play around Nibiru, but wow, so powerful.
I mean, usually, yeah, the extra Ryziel is the best one to start things off with, especially because, like, as you mentioned, just send the aggregator to the graveyard. But I think here, I mean, besides mentioning that Joo Ho drew the Call by the Grave with the cross, I think it was the Ariel Changer, the
Aerial Eater,
MVP. Yeah, the Aerial Eater, sorry. Yeah, exactly. So that was, I think, the card of the game 3. Because without it, honestly, I think Mel could have not came back into this game. So, yeah.
But, I mean, it's definitely a deck that is not among the most popular, but given the amount of months, and technically it is the deck that has won the latest World Championship, so it has a lot of affectionate fans, so maybe we'll get the chance to ask Mel if she has been on the deck for a lot, and you could really tell that, you know, she was playing a super fast pace in the moments in which you knew that you know, her opponent didn't really have much going on, and she was able to also find some lines that were not super obvious. So I think it really comes to show why she probably adapted the deck to, you know, the latest trends in the metagame. And yeah, I mean, great display overall. But thank you guys for joining us for what was round 10. But now we want to hear it from Mel, and to interviewer it will be Jean-Alexis.
Yeah, I'm here with Mel, who just had a wonderful game for the round 10 this morning. First of all, congratulations, because there was a lot to say about that game. How do you feel right now?
I'm still very, very nervous. First time ever day 2 to YCS, so we're just trying our best.
It was the first time at a day 2 and you did absolutely amazing. What a game it was. We are going to go through a few highlights in a minute, but first of all, I wanted to ask you about the choice of your deck, because you chose to go with Ubel, which is not the best deck right now, let's say it, but it has a wonderful go first. Why did you choose this one over some decks like Ryziel or Malice, for example?
So for ages, I played Infernoble. I couldn't get off of that deck until I didn't do very well at Euros with it. Then I played Memento for a little bit, gave up Memento, and then played Ubel. I have no interest in playing decks that aren't really the combo-centric pile decks, and I kind of just sell on Ubel because of that.
Okay, perfect. So we'll go through a few highlights. Maybe we can go to the first clip where it was such a game, because there is the Dwell and Logbird in the graveyard that you activated in response to the Pot of Prosperity. What do you think about Dwell and Logbird in the meta game?
So I just wanted to build my deck mainly for Mitsu Ryziel and Fiends of Ryziel game 1s. Which is why you see the Bestials, you see like the Foros and the Drolls. Obviously it's like drawing the Droll and the Foros, but I think it's just such an auto-win button to the matchup that I'm happy to do it.
Yeah, and it worked really well. We saw right after that you just had to face Triple Tactics Talent, which was really clutch there. And right after, well, Joe activated as well a Droll and Logbird, which was such a card. Then you were in like a simplified game state, but you decided to go to sequence. There was an impermanence on the sequence, so it was kind of hard. What was in your head right now?
So see, I knew when he ripped the Board Rake out of my hand, he likely had a draw, which is why I led with the Fiends to Flying. He had to have something else to beat the Fiends to Flying, so I felt it didn't matter if I went for Caesar or Sequence. I was either getting, he could have Nibiru'd on when I had a Necro Clip, and he could have Imperm or Bailed the Sequence or Imperm the Caesar. It just felt a lose-lose situation. I know he's got something for it, so I just went for the high roll.
Yeah, and then unfortunately for you, it went pretty bad, because the cross drew a Mitsurugi card, and then he could just go from that point. So let's go to the game 2, because the second clip is pretty interesting. Oh, I think it was the previous one. It was the previous one because you decided to go to Typhoon,
Yeah.
and the Typhoon wasn't enough, of course, because there was the dweller on the field and everything. So yeah, it was a tough game. But we're gonna go to the third clip. I must say. So there was an impermanence on sequence, and then there was a normal summon Saji. But you decided to go with the SP plus impermanence, which was really hard for Joo Ho. You basically went almost uninterrupted during that turn. There was only an impermanence. Did it affect you a lot or not?
Just having input just meant it was a safety net. I went SP first just so I could see if he had a Prez, which since he didn't chain, I didn't think he had it, which is why I put the imperm as well onto it, just to make sure. I had the Seizure anyway if he grabbed a Ritual Spell, but I wanted to be safe.
Yeah, and that worked really well. And then we went to the game 3, and that was a hell of a game. That was such a game, really. So we can maybe go to the next highlight, where you decided to normal summon the Dark Beckoning Beast, and there was an Ash Blossom on that. But then you had the Bestial, and you could go to all the Finn's plays. Tell us more about the bridges that you can do in your deck.
That's why we're playing such a high bestial count, is because they all turn into the Fiends of Line. Obviously in that situation, my hand, I drew 2 of the Beckoning Beasts, so I just needed any monster to, like on the top deck to try and play, and so to do any bestial did it, which Druidson was one of them.
Yeah, it was one of them, so it went pretty well. But after that, you ended up going on a field with Caesar and Rage.
Yeah.
But what a top deck for Joo Ho,
Yeah.
who just top decked X, which was amazing, of course, because he could get rid of the Caesar. At that moment, did you think that it was almost lost?
I thought it was over, to be honest. As soon as I saw the X, it was like, I was trying to figure out my lines and play around any top deck, and I just sell on the fact that if it's X, it's the only one I lose to. So, and it was X.
It was X, but then you proceeded to top deck as well a regret card, because you had the opening of the Spirit Gate, if I remember well, which was really, really great, of course. And then it was really hard because you went to the time, you were approaching the end of the time. Was it hard? Was it stressful? Or were you pretty confident?
I was just trying not to just think from my plays too much. As I said, just wanted to get, because I knew where I was going, which is try to beat the boards. I did end up misplaying, and then I'm not actually having just a good card to go into, so I ended up having to go into the Muckracker to actually trigger the Yama, which was a big mistake, but as I said, got the Rage out, which is what I needed on that board.
Yeah, we can see that because the next clip is about that. You went to Muckracker and then you proceeded to battle. You triggered the Yama and then you ended up on Rage. But it was the end of the time, which was enough, and you proceeded to get the victory, which leads you to a record of 8 wins, 1 draw and 1 loss, if I'm correct, which allows you for the moment to be able to compete for the top cut. I hope that you will be great for the next round. There are 2 rounds left right now. Once again, congratulations. Ed, back to you.